Well, folks, as you know, all these finger-pointing scenarios that's going on, one is pointing back at me. Not for many, for each and every one of us. A lot of fingers, pretend, like one of those Hindu gods, but with a bunch of fingers, all pointing for each and every one, and one towards me as well. So, not to blame, but we all have responsibility. And going to that Hindu god metaphor, creator, preserver, destroyer, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Which one do I think is most evolved, that has a lot of knowledge to acquire, to be able to achieve that role and do it well? It's one in the middle, preserver. Destroyer, least evolved, least developed. If you look on the developmental scale of a child, the youngest to destroy something that has been built. Then you have the creator. Yes, but not number one, that preserver. These preservers, healers, as so they are called, have that Hippocratic oath. And trust me, I have drilled a lot of them where they would say, yes, I know that this is work, it's not going to work. Then why, how are we doing this? Well, this is one of those hospitals that have what we call a filling bed policy to pad the coffers of whatever financial institution that might be supporting them. For instance, I just saw on the front, Morgan Stanley was the name on the front of the hospital. That's a great institution that knows how to heal, business of healing. Having said that, yes, if you mention anything about suing, second time that I mentioned making a complaint at a hospital and suing, yes, had a bed filled. Yes, first time was 2 days after Ethiopia, the broken hand. I actually went to the same hospital, Mount Sinai, right by St. John the Divine. Ambulance was called for me by, actually, may I say, the wonderful New York State Park Police, who I felt very comfortable with after a previous incident, which they helped me out greatly. Checks and balances people, because the 30th precinct did not do their job. At least one officer did not do his job from the 30th at that moment. Having said that, yes, went through a broken head. Everything went fine. Nurse took care of me. Doctor took care of me. Was able to go out during the wait, have my medicine, which was prescribed to me. Having said that, the next night, I went to take care of my other injuries, lesser ones that, could wait for a day. And there was a nurse, was not being professional. I mentioned to him, focus on what you're supposed to be doing. Don't drop your pens. The fact that he was wearing pink scrubs does not mean anything, but it will help me pinpoint who exactly it was when I said, I'm going to report you if you don't focus. I'm a business person. When it comes to, yes, focus. Whatever job you have, Hippocratic oath. Okay, that's how it goes with me. If not, well then, we have something to talk about. So having said that, when I came here, day after a beating, the day of a beating, second one within 2 days from Domingo E. Matos, neighbor of my building, had things stolen from me. Wedding ring, tungsten wedding ring, wore that for whatever reasons, like tungsten a lot, and red eye of horse I got in Egypt 2007, pictures of all this. Next day I went back, took care of the injuries, showed my disdain for the specific security guard who I felt that might have something to do with it. But he's part of one of the agitators. Normally you have one in each department, maybe a nurse in on it, you have a security guard, you have definitely doctors in on it, So having said that, piss somebody off, don't get them water, whatever, antagonize them, you got a bed filled. So, having said that, after a little headbutt, nobody did that to me recently. Yes, mild concussion symptoms, disorientation, culminated at the end with nausea after a little bit of uppityness, let's call it. And I begged to stay part released when the ambulance came. No, not this hospital. I still haven't talked to whoever was I needed to talk about my stolen things and their bed policy filling. And then after you get the bed policy filling at whatever place on the east side that they're have tied with, then they send you this place, something on the hill, whatever, but it's a really famous building off of 125th Street. It's actually Legal Aid Society's in that same building. Well, Legal Aid Society for just landlord-tenant court. Freaking empty, I gotta tell you that. Got 3D scans. But having said that, yes, it's basically, like a chop shop, so here, there, we got our money in multiple places. Yes, I will find the flaws in your messed up little matrix of lies, deceit. And when I mentioned everything after coming here 4 times to make the report to whatever police officer, towards the end he said, yeah, we're going to take your bag. Psycho. And that's when everything just, either can't be true, or you have no credibility, or you have kind of same thing, when people are sexually assaulted or we just say they have to discredit them because they have no voice. The most discriminated of all classes, because once deemed such, your freedom will be taken away, your voice will be taken away. Any crime can be done to you. I don't believe it because you... Well, I decided to a little multi-decade undercover brother sting funded by and the people who are going to get screwed by themselves. Given so many opportunities, but kept on going and going and going and going, not willing to put their